Factoring with fractions. Step 1. And this, since you can change any decimal to a fraction, this works for decimals and fractions. In fact, I'm going to change my decimals in example 1 to fractions. Okay? Step 1, we are going to factor out the fraction as a common factor. We'll show you what that means in a second. And then step 2, factor like normal. What does that mean? Well, in example, in part A, we have x squared. I'm going to change 1.5 to a fraction, minus 3 over 2x. I'm going to change a half to a fraction, plus a half. My denominator is a 2. If I wanted to get rid of the fractions, I would have to pull that denominator of 2 out in front. So I'm going to factor out a 1/2. And now we have to do a little bit of mental math. Because pulling out a half out of something is a little bit harder mental math-wise. I think it's easier if you sort of reverse think. Whatever goes here, a half times that has to be 1x squared. A half times what is 1x squared? 2x squared. You see how I did that? I multiplied out instead of, because pulling a half out is hard to see, because how do you pull a half out of 1? It's hard to visualize it. But maybe you think, oh, maybe you can think, well, a half plus a half makes 1. So if I pull out a half, I would get 2. But thinking in fractions is sometimes hard for our brains. So instead, I said, well, if I factor something out, when I multiply after, I have to get this. So 1/2 times 2 is 1. This one's easier. Because when you multiply, I can imagine 3 over 1. How do you multiply fractions? You multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. So if I take the half out, I'd just be left with minus 3. And here, if I take the half out, this is really easy. I'd be left with plus 1. And so we have the half out in front, and now this is a level, that's a level 2 question. What's the only way to get 2x squared? 2x and x. It's actually the easiest level 2 that's ever existed. It's the only way to get 1. 1 and 1. We actually had no thinking to do up till now. I need a minus 3. My outside is 2x, my inside is 1x. You see that I would need a minus 2x and a minus x to make minus 3x. So, factor out the fraction as a common factor. Did that first. Then, factor the inside like normal. So in part B, do you see that you have a fraction? Its denominator is 3. So I'm going to pull out a 1/3. 1/3 times what would give me x squared? 1/3 times 3x squared would give me x squared. 1/3 out of the second one, that's where the third was, so that's easy, minus 17x. And 1/3 times what is 2? 1/3 times what is 2? 6. And now we've changed this to a level 2 question. Only way to get 3x squared would be 3x and x. Okay. Any ideas with the 6 so that your outside and your inside make 17?
6 and 1.
6 and 1? Close. If I write 6 and 1, my outside's 3. My inside is 6. That doesn't make 17.
1 and 6.
1 and 6. So notice that it makes a difference whether we say 6 and 1 or 1 and 6. And I know you meant 1 and 6, but you said 6 and 1. So I wrote it how you said it, because that can cause confusion, right? Now when you check, my outside makes 18. My inside makes 1. I need a negative 17, so I'll make my outside negative 18 plus 1. And I quickly multiply it out. My last one's minus 6, yes. My first one's 3x squared, yes. So this is factoring when we have fractions or decimals. And your ones for practice on this one are 9, 10, 11. Circle 9, 10, 11, and 18.